Hey guys, Courtney Fricky here. Hey, so we're continuing asking this question, right? And I want to pick the brain of different investors so that we can kind of get different opinions, right? So I'm here with Mike Russell. Mike, where are you based out of?
Abita Springs, Louisiana.
All right, so suburb of New Orleans, near my home. And Mike, how long have you been investing?
Well, I consider myself an accidental investor.
Okay.
So I had a personal home that wouldn't sell on the market, and a realtor suggested that I rent it out. So
That was up in Shreveport,
technically
right?
that was in Shreveport, yeah.
Yep,
So that was technically my first property that I rented in 2015.
got it. And so, talk to me. The question that we're asking is debt. We're going to do free and clear properties. You know, do we want our rentals to be free and clear? Or do we want to keep debt on them? What's kind of your perspective with it, and where are your thoughts at?
So my perspective is that really I'm focused on the cash flow itself, right? It's not so much whether or not the property has debt, because utilizing the cash properly is the most important piece of the investing.
Yeah.
And we're in an interesting time right now where we have both high interest rates and high appreciation or inflation. Typically, there's an inverse relationship between the two, where we've got cheap money, right, and then the price of the house might go up, and that's a good time to borrow money versus having a high interest rate where prices might start coming back down.
Yeah.
So utilizing your cash appropriately makes a lot of sense, and you got to make sure that you deploy it properly. One of the questions I've been asking a lot of folks here is about having cash tied up in a home, whether or not having a free and clear home, just like you're asking, makes a lot of sense. And that really does come back down to the current economy and how you're deploying that capital.
Yeah. I think that's huge because, well, when you have money, part of the burden is getting it working.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah,
then, and in certain markets, what's your alternative versus keeping it in the property that you know, control, and like, versus going out and deploying it in something else?
Absolutely. And of course, having cash tied up in a property means that you're not moving forward. So it also depends on what your actual, season of investing is, right? So if you're an ender spender, you might want to sit back and take the cash flow off of a property, and having cash tied up in a property may not be an issue for you. But if you're in a growth stage, you may want to be able to redeploy that money faster.
Sure. I mean, there's a lot of folks who have been, over the last 2 years, refinancing or selling off some of their, properties that they consider dogs that they don't want to keep. But because they want it to be cash rich in case the market provided some opportunities. Gary calls them blue light specials, but stuff like that. And so some people keep that train of thought of like, let's have the cash on the side for if we wanted to do something with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And cash helps you to move a lot faster when that opportunity approaches.
Absolutely, absolutely. Any other thoughts you want to share on debt in relation to your rentals and things like that?
No, I think the most important part is education. Just like what we're doing
Yeah.
here today is continue educating yourself and be aware of what's going on in the economy.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Mike's been attending these classes with us for years, and that's a huge part. It's you grow into the conversations you're around. And so that's huge, guys. It's critical to know who you're learning from, too, because, well, how does the person, for example, that you're learning from, how do they approach this stuff, right? Doesn't matter if they have a Lamborghini or a jet, if they're either both rented or one payment away from bankruptcy. It's the quality that matters. And
Absolutely.
so, well, Mike, appreciate your thoughts here, sharing with me, and always appreciate the conversation. Thanks,
Thank
you
you.
guys, for tuning in.